Hey, what's up? Hello, y'all. Welcome back to the Cult Juice channel. If you are a returning viewer, if you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad you are here. In today's video, we're going to be getting into Megan Thee Stallion's new album, okay? People are wondering, what is going on? Okay, like really, what is going on here? Three-time Grammy winner, album can barely sell 100,000 units. What is going on, okay? People feel like Megan just had a #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. She just went #1. She's been the talk of the town all year. Why is her album flopping? Okay, Megan just released her self-titled album, Megan. The album has quite a lot of mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people just can't stand it, some people absolutely just don't care about it, people just kind of want to know, Megan, what happened? Like, what's going on? What went wrong with the rollout of this album? Because people feel like she could have did way more. Okay, she has 3 Grammys with T. Okay, now let's get into it. All right. Now, first things first, this album, when it released, okay, the only singles on this album was BOA, Cobra, and Hiss. Okay, those were all singles that she put out. Okay, and the only song that really went somewhere was Hiss, due to the the diss tracks in the song that caused the beef, woo, and that beef, or should I say response to the song, is the only reason why that song has went #1, due to the shock factor and overall controversy that the song has caused in the media. Okay, that's the only reason why Hiss went #1. Okay, so in case you all are wondering, oh my gosh, #1 album, but your album is flopping, that is kind of a big portion as to why the song even went #1. So you can't even really contribute, Hiss to the success of an album, because honestly, most people who were tuned into Hiss weren't really interested in the whole what Megan has going on. They just were tuned into the beef and drama. So, that's honestly the truth there. People are also now blaming the overall flop of the album due to Megan being an independent artist. Okay, oh, Megan's independent, she's independent, that's why her project isn't doing that well. She doesn't have as much resources and backing to keep her project afloat. I would have to decline that response, and I would have to give that answer as BS, only because she's literally backed by Roc Nation as management. And plus, Megan isn't some upcoming artist who's independent. No, she's well-rounded in this industry in terms of resources and people who are in the industry who can help her. She has all the phone numbers and phone calls to make to be able to help her career be where it needs to be at. But it just seems like, I don't know. Yeah, she's independent, but I don't think that has anything to do with how her album is performing, okay? People also feel like Megan should have dropped some more music videos. They feel like music videos would have helped a lot when it comes to the overall, promotion for the album. But no shade. I mean, if the song is bad or the music is bad, I'm not saying it is, but music videos won't help it at all. So, if the album is decent or good, okay, then the music video could potentially help boost it. But I don't think music videos should be the go-to answer for helping an album chart or do better. It just doesn't mean anything to me, okay? I think that honestly, this Megan album, it is honestly, from what I've been hearing, it isn't really pushing any narrative. It isn't really, a controversial album other than the Hiss record. And typically, to have an album perform really well, you have to have really good songs, or the album itself has to be controversial. And to be honest here, I mean, on the album, it's just but, P-U-S-S-Y, twerk, I'm wet, I'm thick, and my butt fat. I mean, come on now. That's not going to get 100,000 first week sales. A lot of the Megan fans, the hotties, were expecting 100,000 first week. Now, I could have told you that wouldn't have happened, because I just feel like, to do 100,000 first week, you would have to have announced your album a bit sooner. I feel like if she announced her album at least 2 or 3 months in advance, she probably could have done better numbers. Her album released the same month that it was announced. People just feel like, okay, this is just all right. The reason is because the album didn't have that much time to get promoted. It was short time. That's kind of valid. That is kind of valid. But I do feel like low key, it doesn't matter how soon you announce something. There are artists out here who do surprise drops and they sell out. Their drops, their announcements, go crazy. And that's simply because their album or project, was in demand. I don't really think people look at Megan Thee Stallion as an album artist. Her past albums, didn't even perform well, honestly. Good News, it did okay, but it didn't go #1. She's not really an album girl. She can make great singles that can get people, dancing and twerking. But other than that, Being an artist who creates projects for people to tune in and like, catch a vibe to, she kind of has a hard time doing that. Also, I've noticed that her albums aren't really like cohesive at all to me. They kind of like just twerk anthems all placed onto one track just to get you moving, honestly. I mean, I'm just being real here. And that isn't to downplay Megan Thee Stallion. I'm just calling it, a thing. I mean, it is what it is, like your music isn't really like, I don't know, just 100,000 first week worthy, it's worthy of the 60,000 units that it got, okay? Now the pure sales, let's get into the pure sales, y'all. The pure sales of this album were only 13,000 to 16,000 pure sold. That's not good. Now, when I say pure sales, that means that's how many people actually like bought a real like copy of the project, okay? Units sold also include streams, which is crazy, okay? I don't know, like, she's on tour right now. People are buying her concert tickets. Why aren't they buying her album? Okay. It just doesn't correlate. I mean, is she like, what's going on? Many people are also blaming the fact that she's only 5 years into her mainstream era of being an artist. And they're saying, oh, well, she's only 5 years in. Give her some time. No shade, but typically the first 5 years of an artist being into the industry is their most commercially successful time of being a mainstream artist. I'm not saying the first years of being an artist, period. I'm talking about the first 5 years of being mainstream. You're still hot, you're still fresh, you're still new. People are still checking for you. First 5 years in and you can't even get 100,000 on your third album. That's a problem. Okay, that's just a big problem to me. Well, this is her second official album, honestly. But that doesn't change the fact that you're 5 years in and still haven't cultivated, a power of being able to have your fans to buy. I mean, I think that power is important, That's why having core fans is really crucial to your career. I feel like people like Megan, but she only has a small percentage of core fans, obviously, And, I think she needs to take some more time to, cultivate her fan base some more, continue putting out some more music that people like. Another thing I noticed is that Megan dropped singles recently. And like every time she drops a single or music video with the single, they don't go anywhere. It just kind of just stalls compared to back in the day when she first came out. She dropped her singles and they would chart. They would do pretty well. I mean, all her songs chart, yes, but they aren't stable in terms of society, tuning into it and playing it. Nobody's sitting around like, oh my gosh, that new Megan song is so good. No, I think Megan kind of just lost her hold onto, just the overall music industry. She lost her power when it comes to being that artist that people like, And I'm not saying she can't get it back, but it's just going to take some more time to, regain that again. And I feel like the whole diss move was a bad move because, yeah, you put out hits, but, you can't attack artists who are bigger than you. You can't attack Drake. You can't attack all these people who you claim to look up to because those fans are going to now attack you and now they're going to make sure that you flop even more, And I'm seeing many people say that these numbers are actually not bad at all. And Megan actually did really, really good. I'm sorry, but I have to decline. That's not an acceptable answer here. It's not. I mean, I just don't think that's big to me. Like 60,000 that's not good. Like you are a 3-time Grammy winner. You should be winning at least 100,000 units sold. You should be getting at least 100,000, period. Okay? Point blank, period. All right? Honestly, I feel like the rollout was just not that good. I feel like from the day that she dropped her first single off this album, it took too long for the album itself to release and to announce the album's coming out. I feel like you should have dropped the album around the second single, around Hiss. That should have been the first, hint of you dropping an album around the Hiss time period because that's when everybody was talking about you. But after a while, people stopped caring about you like that and you dropped an album and people just kind of don't care. By the time you're on your third single, BOA, the whole Hiss hype died down. The whole, the dissing and all that stuff, it died down. And you kind of miss your mark a bit by, latching on to that, controversy that you kind of stirred up. You know what I'm saying? I think that she kind of missed the mark with that. But I'm also seeing people say that, people need to stop worrying about charts and leave charts alone. Like charts don't matter. Woo. I guess so. I do agree that sometimes people do obsess over the numbers too much. But I just think that when you are a certain level of an artist, I think that certain things should not be happening, such as albums flopping, such as, your song's not performing well, you aren't charting on certain placements of the Billboard charts. I feel like when you're at a certain level, okay, these things should not be happening, and it's just like, that's just how I feel personally. I'm not all for charts, but I do think charts can somewhat indicate how an artist is performing at a certain point of time of their career. But what do you all think about Megan's new album? Do you like it? Do you like the sound? Is it a vibe? Do you all feel like the rollout was terrible? Do you agree with me when I say she should have put the album out around the Hiss controversial thing? Do you all feel like she needs to just make better music, period? Or do you all feel like Megan's time is just simply up? Do you all feel like the whole beef thing was also a big contributing factor to her flopping? Let's get into it down below in the comment section, because I want to know your opinions. I don't want to really be like, starting drama in the comments for I just want to have a simple, open-minded discussion and dialogue, because I really feel like this is just a sad case. It's a sad case, and it's crazy to see, okay? But yes, y'all, I will see you all in the next video. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and be safe, y'all. Bye-bye.